Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Akil and today I'm going to be doing my first ever top 10 video. These top 10 videos will be split apart from each other, so like every 3 months or April, September, April, July, not September. I probably will do one in December because it's my final year of school and there's this big exam that's at the end of the year, so I can't do anything there, pretty much. But yeah, so if it's a normal year, January, April, July, and October. That's how it's always going to be. So yeah, so just keep a lookout for that. So this video is going to be my top 10 movies of all time. So I hope you enjoyed. This is my list. You will see a lot of superhero movies on this list. Why? Because I love Marvel and I love DC and yeah, and some other movies that are just universally loved by both critics and fans. Well, at least that's what I think. So without further ado, let's do this. So number 10 we have is a classic Disney movie, The Lion King. This movie is a movie that's part of the so-called Disney Renaissance period and tells the story of this young. I won't go into spoilers. You haven't seen this movie, so don't worry, guys. It's like a normal review, except for Pirates of the Caribbean, where I went in depth. But anyway, yeah. So, the story is about this guy called Simba, and a tragic incident happens in his life. And for those of you who have seen this movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, but something happened in his life, and he has to avenge. Well, I wouldn't say that because that will give away what happened. But someone died in his life, and he has to avenge that person. So he has to fight the person that killed that person. You know what I mean? So people are saying it's like Hamlet and all that. I don't know if that's true. I know that because I haven't studied Hamlet. I've only studied Macbeth. But Lion King is a really great movie. Hans Zimmer's score is one of the best parts about this movie. The songs are great, very iconic characters. Simba is a great character. Simba's the guy who is the main character in this movie, and you really see him grow and evolve as a character from being this like childlike presence to being like someone who's very like serious and very like determined to do what he has to do and all that. And like eventually he'll be the leader and all that. So yeah, and along the way he meets these two characters called Timon and Pumbaa who are very funny, and to this day if you watch it you'll probably have a laugh at it too. This is a movie for everyone. It came out alongside like other movies, well not alongside but in that 90s time period, the Renaissance period, alongside like Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Pocahontas, Mulan. Some of those are great, some of those not so great, and Little Mermaid, even though it came out in the late 80s, still counted as that. So yeah, but Lion King is a fantastic movie. Voice acting is top notch, great animation, fantastic action sequences, especially the end. The lion fight at the end is great. So yeah, all right. Now number 9 is Logan. Logan is a movie that came out last year and is actually my. Is it? No, it's not. Sorry, guys. I thought it was my favorite movie of last year, but then I remember there's another movie from last year that's also on this list. Now, this movie could have been a 10 out of 10 for me, but the reason why it's not, it's like a 9.5 or something out of 10. Lion King's like a solid 9. I also give Justice League a 9, but I won't talk about that movie because people will hate me for doing that. But anyway, Logan is a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you check it out. You don't really have to watch the other Wolverine movies. Just watch Days of Future Past. That's a good one. That was actually my favorite X-Men movie before Logan came out. So yeah, I love X2. I love some of the other X-Men movies. Apocalypse is actually pretty good too. And yeah, but Logan is the best one. It ended off Hugh Jackman's career as Wolverine, and it was awesome. This is also the most violent Wolverine movie yet, and for me as a superhero fan and Wolverine fan, I absolutely love that. There's so much swearing, and yeah, and Wolverine is my favorite Marvel character. He's my second favorite superhero just behind Batman, so this was a perfect tribute to the character. Even though he never wore the yellow iconic costume that we know and love him to wear in the comics and all that, I still really think it was a great film. The acting was great. Music was pretty interesting too. The little girl, Daphne Keane, who plays Laura Kinney in this movie, X-23, very good in this movie. And the way she did the stunts and action was very well done. And what's his name? Yeah, sorry. Patrick Stewart, yeah, that's right. Patrick Stewart was great as Professor X. Sorry, I blanked out between him and Ian McKellen, but Patrick Stewart was great as Professor X. Everyone's just great in this movie. Yeah, it's a very well done movie. Action's great, everything's great. So yeah, but not a 10. Next up, is a movie that at number 8, or I should say at number 8, is a movie that a lot of people might not know. But it's a movie called Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. And what this movie is basically it's an animated movie that, you know, if you haven't have seen these DC animated movies, you have no idea what I'm talking about. And basically, it's an animated movie based off this iconic graphic novel, Batman or The Dark Knight Returns, or as the comic is just called, Dark Knight Returns. And it's written by Frank Miller. For those of you who don't know who he is, that's okay. Uh, Kids of this generation might not know him, but kids of the 80s and 90s might know him, and early 2000s. I have the comic book, and it's my favorite graphic novel for Batman. I absolutely love it. But the movie came out before, I mean, many years later after the comic book, like almost 30 years later. The comic is now like this year 32 years old. So I got the book when it was celebrating its 30th anniversary, and to this day I still absolutely love the book and the movie. There's a part 1, and part 1 is pretty good too, but the reason why part 2 is better because it ends off Batman's career in a whole new way. Like, there's Robin, there's Alfred, there's a fight with two iconic superheroes, which I won't spoil. If you read the comic, you know what I'm talking about. And that inspired another big DC movie. Joker's in this movie, and there's a lot of final confrontation, and it's really great to see Batman like on the edge of like death or something like that. I won't spoil what exactly happens, but like, for those of you who've seen this movie, know what I'm talking about. Yeah, he's still going strong. He keeps on going, never gives up, and that's what I love about him in this movie. Voice acting's great, animation's great, action's freaking fantastic, and the action in this movie, like the one-on-one showdown fights, are great. So yeah, love it. And next up is my favorite animated movie of all time. Lion King was my favorite Disney movie of all time, but this is my favorite animated movie of all time. Uh, yeah, it's The Adventures of Tintin at number 7. This is a perfect animated movie. Is it a 10 out of 10? No, it's like a 9 point something too. I still love it. I remember some of the lines, guys. That's how much I watch and love this movie. But John Williams' score is not the only thing that did this movie. It was Steven Spielberg's direction, and of course Peter Jackson also produced this movie. He did a great job contributing to this movie, but it was really Spielberg's magic and touch that really gave this movie, this story, this whole world new life. And yeah, I feel like the voice acting was and motion capture performances was really great. This movie was like all motion capture, I believe, yeah. And the way they did the characters and like how they moved around was great, but it was the whole story. Like, they combined these iconic stories like Secret of the Unicorn and Crab with the Golden Claws and all that into this one whole movie, and it was great. I really want to see a second one and the third one and the fourth one, and let's see how many we go from there. But I want Spielberg to make more Tintin movies. Tintin 1 came out like in 2011, which is kind of 2012, but it came out like Christmas 2011, and still we haven't got a Tintin movie, a sequel. I want a second one. So yeah, please Spielberg make one. But other than that, it's a fantastic animated movie. My favorite animated movie of all time, Adventures of Tintin. You gotta love this movie. It's a great movie. It's a bit of a treasure hunt movie. It's a bit like Indiana Jones, but see for yourself when you watch this movie. But other than that, it's a really, really great animated movie. So yeah, go check out Tintin, and I'm telling you right now, you will not be disappointed, guys. Alright, next up at number 6, we have the greatest superhero showdown of all time. Like, in terms of how well they did it, it was so great. And that's Captain America Civil War. This is not the best superhero movie of all time. I've actually got a few more, which is on my top 5 list. Like 2 or 3 more, I believe. Yeah. But this is my favorite out of all Phase 3. It's better than Ragnarok, which is surprising because I really love Ragnarok. I give that like an 8, I believe. Yeah, I give it an 8. Doctor Strange, I give it 6. It's okay. Could have been a lot more better though. It's enjoyable at times though. What else? Oh yeah, Guardians 2 was okay too. Not as good as the first one though. And Spider-Man Homecoming I absolutely love. But this movie, best out of Phase 3 so far. Oh yeah, and Black Panther. This is not as good. Black Panther is not as good as this. The reason why this is good because not only of the action and how many characters they managed to put into this movie, but each character has their own reason to be there. Like they each have their own like individual screen time. Like some characters not as much. Like when you watch Avengers Infinity War, the same guys who directed this and Winter Soldier are doing that movie, and that's coming out like in the next week or two. So yeah, but when you watch that movie, it's very hard to cram in like a lot of characters because it's not only like a very big movie. Yes, it's like going to be probably like 2.5 hours or something like that, but still, Russo brothers, the guys who directed this movie, did a fantastic job doing it. The airport battle is fantastic, and I won't spoil what happens in this movie. This is just one this movie you have to go check out for yourself, guys. As you can tell, Iron Man and Captain America are the centralized characters in this movie, and they have to go up against each other. There's verbal conflicts, there's physical conflicts, and there's like a lot of things that happened in the past that relate to this movie, and this movie spawned made a Black Panther and Spider-Man much more popular than like, well, they were popular before but a bit more popular. So yeah. Alright, now number 5 we have is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Fantastic film, guys. I was going to say super movie, but no. This movie I saw on my birthday when it came out back in 2014, and still I love it. Third one I thought was pretty good too. I loved it, but not as much as this one. I didn't like the third one, but I loved it. So yeah, then there's the first one, which I thought was okay. I don't think I've seen the whole of the first one though, but anyway, Dawn is a fantastic movie. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Andy Serkis did a fantastic job. I think, in my opinion, this is his best performance. Yeah. Sorry guys if you think that he did better in The Lord of the Rings and Hobbit, but this is my favorite like Andy Serkis like performance in terms of motion capture and franchise. So yeah, he did a fantastic job. Story's great. Jason Clarke's really great in this movie, and Toby Kebbell, who plays the bad ape known as Koba, did a very great job. It's basically about these apes who trying to secure, claim like their own home, and like these humans come, they have to like work out how to live in peace, but things don't go in as planned. Apes turn on apes, humans turn on humans, and eventually there's a all-out war kind of at the end of the movie, and it's really great. The action scenes in this movie is freaking fantastic. Matt Reeves did a great job with this movie. It's one of the best movies where you can see an animal fighting an animal, like literally. If you never thought you'd seen that, well, think again, guys, because you will see that in this movie. It's very like has very strong imagery too, like the way the shots are done. I think you've heard this 1,000 times if you've seen reviews for this movie, but the way shots are done, like the imagery. And there's one scene where the Cobra comes out running from the fight on a horse holding a gun, and that scene was really, really well done and good and strong. So yeah, very well done movie. All these movies from here on out are 10 out of 10. So my top 5 are all 10 out of 10. This is my favorite Batman movie of all time. Yeah, Dark Knight Rises, fantastic movie, and this is again not my favorite superhero movie of all time. So yeah, Christian Bale I think did a very great job in this movie. Anne Hathaway's Catwoman. Tom Hardy actually did pretty good as Bane, but Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman also did good job too. But it's the story itself that really sold me onto it, and it's the way it was done. Josh Gordon-Levitt, Marion Cotillard, I don't know how to say her name, sorry. Gary Oldman, everyone in this movie did a fantastic job, but it's also Hans Zimmer's score that sold me on this movie. If it wasn't for the score, like, I still would have watched it because it's Batman and I love the guy, I love the character I should say, but he's my favorite superhero, yes, but it's the score that also made me love this movie more. Hans Zimmer delivered one hell of a score. The Dark Knight trilogy score is my favorite score for Hans Zimmer. I don't know if Gladiator will be and Last Samurai because I haven't seen this movie yet. So yes, I haven't, but I will one day eventually get to it, so don't worry guys. But Dark Knight Rises gave us one hell of a final showdown with Batman and Bane, and the movie is also very long. It's very well structured actually. Like there's a great beginning, you know it's to the middle, and then the end is just like a very great ending, like very climactic, and it's a great way to end off the trilogy. It's a perfect finale. It's an epic finale, and yeah, I love it. This is probably my favorite movie trilogy of all time. Like, Lord of the Rings is great, Hobbit's great, actually, Planet of the Apes is great too, but this one just sold me on it, guys. I love these movies, and if you haven't checked out Dark Knight Rises, you should check it out. There's a lot to love about this movie. See, yeah. All right, number three we have is Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Now, this is my favorite movie of last year. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why the hell is this movie on my list? Well, for two reasons. One, it's the best Star Wars movie I've ever seen in my whole life. And two, the way they did the story was great. Like, Kylo Ren and Rey's relationship was really expanded out. Luke Skywalker, though, people might hate him in this movie, might love him, say what you want. I thought he was pretty cool with his character. I saw someone yesterday, at the time of this recording, for this day, it's the 17th of April. So on the 16th of April, I saw someone yesterday who said Luke Skywalker, oh, he's such a wuss, such a baby. And that is true. However, in my opinion, I thought he was pretty good in this movie. Mark Hamill did a really good job. But the ending of this movie, how they, I wouldn't say ended, I wouldn't say, like, okay, I'm not trying to spoil this movie, guys, but in a less spoilery way, it's a good way to send off the character. Let's just say like that. I didn't like the send off, like how they did the send off for the character. So yeah, but if you know, the reason why I'm not trying to spoil this movie is because for those of you who have seen this movie, you know what I'm talking about. But something happens at the end which might upset you. But yeah, also things happen in this movie that don't go as planned. That's why Luke says in the trailer, this is not going to go the way you think. And yeah, it's very well done. The sci-fi genre has really become something of a pop culture thing nowadays, and this is just amplifying Star Wars into a whole new way, whole new generation. I actually love this movie. It's the best sci-fi movie I've ever seen, better than Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness. I love those movies. I will do a collection update when I show all my 4K movies, and I'll talk about Star Trek Into Darkness that time. But for right now, yeah, number three, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Really great movie, great story, great action. Yeah. Alright, number two is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Now, this movie may not be your favorite, but for me it is. This movie not only did so well at the box office, not only did so well with critics, but also gave way for one of the best finales in any franchise. This movie was so good. And it's the final film of the franchise, and he ended it off so well. Daniel Radcliffe gave one hell of a performance as Harry Potter. Emma Watson, Rupert Grint, Ralph Fiennes, Michael Gambon, who is in this movie, did a great job, very well done job in this movie. But it's the story and the characters and the motion that make this movie really, really well done. And also the music. Again, all these movies have great music, but this one in particular, Harry Potter is known for its iconic music, but also like how it amplifies the scene and all that type of stuff. Yeah, music amplifying more than once. But anyway, look, the action is great in this movie. Even though people might say the final fight wasn't as impressive just because between Harry and Voldemort, just because there wasn't any like movement like the Dumbledore and Voldemort scene in Order of the Phoenix at the very end, I still think that duel was great, but this is the better duel, only just because it ended off the franchise very well, and you have a lot of emotions in this movie: happiness, sadness, anger, frustration, and there's a lot to love about this movie. Part 1's really great too, but I think Part 2 just delivered on all like points. Like it ticked all the boxes in terms of being a great fantasy movie, an epic movie, and all that type of stuff. I love Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 2. It's my favorite fantasy movie of all time, my favorite Harry Potter movie of all time, and there's nothing I can go wrong with it. Alright, now drum roll please. Number one is the movie I absolutely love. It's my favorite superhero movie of all time, and that is of course not The Dark Knight, but The Avengers. Yes, this movie came out back in 2012, and no, I did not just put this on this list because Infinity War is coming out. No, I did this because I love the movie. There was a time period where I thought of putting Age of Ultron at the bottom of my list, and Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 2 was like at number one still. But then, now when I think about it, this movie is still a perfect superhero movie. There's nothing wrong with it. People might notice small flaws, but that's their opinion. I think this is a 10 out of 10 perfect movie for me. Yeah, it really shows all the characters, like what they're capable of, and this is the first time they did an actual great team up super movie, like in terms of like building up a franchise and universe. Like X-Men, yes. Fantastic Four, nah, not really. Justice League, yes, actually. I know some people might say no, but that's their opinion. Guardians Galaxy, yes, but Avengers did it so well, and I feel like if they like do Infinity War well, I feel like they can do the whole thing, this whole thing again, but not just with the Fantastic, but not just with the Fantastic Four, but also with the X-Men in the MCU. So whenever that happens, which I'm hoping is in the next year or two, I don't know how long it'll take, but yeah, I'm hoping that we can see the same like structure in terms of like storytelling and building up the characters and world in those like franchises, like in Fantastic Four and X-Men when they come to the MCU. But other than that, Avengers really delivers on all points. Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Nick Fury, Loki, everyone in this movie is great, and it has one of the best after credit scenes I've ever seen in a movie. I was like, hey, that's the guy from Superhero Squad. If you haven't seen Superhero Squad and haven't seen this movie and the after credit scene, you know what I'm talking about, but I mean, you don't know what I'm talking about, but if you have, you know what I'm talking about. Other than that, it's a fantastic film, 10 out of 10, must see, great action, great everything. That's all I have to say, guys. So yeah, so that's my top 10 lists of all time. What did you think of this movie? Tell me in the comments below. And yeah, do you agree with this list? And also, what's your favorite movies of all time, or favorite movie of all time, if you don't want to tell me? So yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe again to my channel, Akil Movie Man Official. My name's Akil, and I'm signing out. Bye, guys. Have a good day, and yeah, have fun. This is Akil, and I'm signing out. Bye.